538 calculated how often various senators voted with Trump. So I want to take a minute here to look at the corporate Democrats. And you can see just how much they are a wolf in sheep's clothing. So, I mean, it's Trump, right? Trump, everybody mocked him, everybody laughed him, everybody's, oh, he's so extreme, he's so crazy, that even among the Democrats who agree with him, you know, you're going to have what? How often do you agree with him? 25% of the time? I mean, that would be a lot. 25% of the time you vote with him? Well, let's take a look. So Claire McCaskill, corporate Democrat extraordinaire. She agrees with Donald Trump half the time. On 50% of votes, she's been with Donald Trump. Obviously, most of them for his nominees. 50%. 50%. Okay, Joe Donnelly of Indiana. Another corporate Democrat. Blue Dog Democrat, because he's in Indiana. So he thinks, I got to be super right-wing as a Democrat in order to stay elected. You know, or not. Like, these guys think, oh, I just have to act right-wing. Well, no, the right-wing ideas are loathed in the country, according to the polls. So what you need to do is unapologetically say, no, I want to stand up for this, stand up for liberal ideas, and then they'd like you. But no, a lot of these guys are going to get wiped out, by the way. Joe Donnelly of Indiana. 55.6% agrees with Trump. Votes with him 55.6% of the time. Oh, it's going to get worse. Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota. 63.2% voted in favor of Trump, voted with Trump. And you know who number one is, right? Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Voted with Trump 73.7% of the time. This is the problem right here. Don't come to me talking about bipartisanship this, bipartisanship that. Here's the reality. True bipartisanship, intelligent bipartisanship, is making a smart deal on infrastructure spending. Doing a giant infrastructure bill. It's agreeing with Trump when he campaigned and when he said, I'm not going to cut Social Security, I'm not going to cut Medicare. I'm just not going to cut it. That's the way this works. It's agreeing with him the half the time he says, we're not going to do nation building. We're not going to do nation building. We're going to spend that money here at home. So on those things, you want to be bipartisan? By all means, because that's when he agreed to do good ideas. Now, again, I don't think he actually believes it, but hold him accountable. Tell him, hey, this is what you said. Here's a quote of it, and now let's do that. So that's smart bipartisanship. This is not smart bipartisanship, because what they're doing is they're voting for horrific people. So whether it's approving Scott Pruitt for EPA, as they did, a guy who wants to head the EPA and doesn't even believe in the EPA and literally sued them 14 times. So if you vote for him, you're just as big a sellout as he is. If you vote for Goldman Sachs or Steve Mnuchin for Treasury Secretary or Attorney General Jeff Sessions, if you vote for them, well, just keep it real. You're a Republican. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing. You say, oh, I'm a Democrat, so, you guys like me, right? Anyway, 73.7% of the time I'm going to vote with Trump. So the one, Joe Manchin, one of the only votes against Trump, Betsy DeVos. He drew the line at a Christian fundamentalist billionaire oligarch who would be the head of public schools and doesn't believe in public schools, believes in private schools, and who bought her position, paid all the Republican senators who ended up voting for her. So that's the one where Joe Manchin was like, that's too far. But Goldman Sachs for Treasury Secretary, all day long. Jeff Sessions for Attorney General. Jeff, good people don't smoke marijuana. Sessions, totally all on board for that. So Scott Pruitt, EPA, I mean, that's not okay. You should, honestly, if I was in the Senate, I think I would have voted for one, maybe two of Trump's picks. And I would have voted for them because it's super clear that they're the most reasonable and that the ones coming after would be worse. So, for example, I probably would have given him Mattis. Mattis is a general who reportedly had talked Trump out of torture. Now, Trump has since gone back on that, but I like the idea of a guy there, who's reasonable enough to say, dude, you're wrong, and torture's wrong, and here's why. Apparently, he said to him, I get more with a case of beer and a conversation than torture. Okay, so, maybe I give you that guy. Maybe I give you Nikki Haley for UN ambassador. But that's it, because all the other picks are just way outside of the realm of respectability. Like, I get it. Okay, you're a Republican dick, and you're going to pick people I don't agree with. I understand that. So certain ones, I'll be reasonable. I'll compromise with you. But I say hell no on the overwhelming majority of your picks. I think Bernie voted for, 3 or 4 of them? So I would have been left of Bernie and said, no, I think only Mattis for sure and Nikki Haley, maybe. But all the other picks, however many others there were a lot, by the way. A lot of them don't even make news because there's very little known about the people who are, or it's not, not a big position or whatever, but I would have voted against probably over 96% of them. So here you have it, man. They're agreeing with him 73% of the time. Joe Manchin, 73.7%. Heidi Heitkamp, 63.2%. Joe Donnelly, 55.6%. Claire McCaskill, 50%. This is how bad the corporate Democrats are and the Blue Dog Democrats are. They're agreeing with Trump over 50% of the time. It's gross.